If you could.
All right, I'm Timothy Devon, the Emergency Management Director for Clay County.
Where are we right now?
We're in the Emergency Operations Center.
So walk me through what we have going on.
All right, so for the fair, we do a soft activation. So we bring in all the players. We have the fire department that comes in, we have dispatch that comes in, we have our sheriff's office and intel piece, we have the weather service that's tied in with planning. We set up a whole planning section to make sure that our incident action plan is put together. We monitor the weather, we monitor cameras, we monitor traffic, which I know Zach will go into a little bit later. But we try and preemptive plan for any type of scenario that would happen. For instance, yesterday we had some severe weather that actually came through that we had to do a soft closing of the park for 30 minutes until the lightning passes. So we try and get that planned out ahead of time so it goes smoothly, which I could say went really smooth yesterday.
What sort of communication happened in that moment or the moments leading up to Sunday's weather event?
So we have some pre-canned messaging with the fair. So they actually can post messages ahead of time. Hey, in about 15 minutes, there's going to be some severe weather. As it gets closer, hey, you may want to go indoors, for the next 30 minutes. We actually have plans if we do have to call for an evacuation where they can go out to their cars if need be. We have Safer Watch that we push messaging out through social media platforms. And then we have the alert.claycountygov.com that also pushes out messages.
What else are you looking for, and how does it prepare you even for future episodes in the county?
We constantly want to train. So I like 3 deep is what I'm known for. So if we have someone in a position, we want them to be training who their replacement is and who that replacement is. So this is sort of like a test for hurricane season. It's the same model we use. Doesn't matter whether it's boat or skip day, whether it's the Strawberry Festival, the fair, or a hurricane or tornado. We exercise this the same way every single time. So this gives us the opportunity to train a lot of additional people.
How is it realistic to go 3 deep within government agencies? How do you do that and manage the logistics of that?
So within Incident Command, we're multi-agency. So this team is made up of fire department, sheriff's office, emergency management, county staff, Department of Health, school board. So we have a lot of partner agencies. So a planned section chief, as an example, it's not just my staff that has one. Sheriff's office has one, county has one. So we all share resources.
Communication has got to be crucial. What tools are you using to communicate? Obviously, we all have cell phones, but what other tools are you using?
So we like redundancy, just like I said about 3 deep crew staffing. We do that with notifications as well. We use systems like ReadyOp for pushing out notifications. We have text messages. We do email updates and situational reports. We have multiple radio frequencies. So it's not just the county or the fire department. We're using SO frequencies and EM frequencies to make sure that we have redundancy, and the fair frequency that they have.
If there are miscommunications, what do they look like? Does one immediately come to mind?
Miscommunications? No, nothing really comes to mind on that. We're usually on top of that. If someone is either misquoting or going in a different direction, everyone's usually involved. So that's either quickly fixed or quickly put out. I guess our biggest thing is we're one voice with the county. So all of our PIOs work together. Doesn't matter what agency. So we put out that one message. It's when you have someone that's in the fair that then makes a posting that then posts it on a external site, and that's misinformation, and then we have to correct that. I guess that would be the only example that I can think of.
And do fair operations work out of here as well, or how do you communicate with them on an hour-by-hour basis?
So they are tied into us as well. They have representation here in the EOC whenever there's an event or anything happening. So we have their radio frequencies as well, because it's the fair, it's the county fairgrounds, and it's Degler as the vendor that has the rides there. So there's multiple players within the fair.
Wow. What have I missed? Anything else that you want to address that goes on here on an everyday basis?
Well, let's go over here for a minute. So, like I said, we actually have the Weather Service. The National Weather Service is embedded here in the Emergency Operations Center to provide the live updates with the weather. So every meeting that we have, we actually do a briefing, and we actually have, like the map you're looking at right now, the circles that you see is the radius for lightning. 10 miles out is when some of the rides with the fair have to shut down. We have a 15-mile circle built so that we can start our planning of what it looks like. Then we have the 10-mile built when we need to shut down. And then when it goes out of that circle, we give an all clear where the fair could open back up again. So they are giving us live weather updates so that we can make those judgments.
I'm going to use this pause and have you throw this on if I could.
Sure, no problem.
And once you clip it on, introduce yourself.
Okay. Ben Nelson, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jacksonville.
And so Tim was just talking about some of the radius and whatnot. What are you looking for? It's Monday, 11:15ish or so. What are you looking at?
Right. So we're looking at an increasing area of mainly light to moderate rainfall that's building over the Suwannee Valley. That's going to eventually head into our area later this afternoon. We're not expecting a significant amount of lightning with this, but certainly we'll have some increasing winds and rainfall into the evening hours.
Seems like winds this week are going to be the big story out here.
Winds are going to be the big story. We're going to have a nor'easter crank up here over the coastal waters. So by the time we get to Wednesday, we're looking at frequent 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts at the fairgrounds.
So what sort of messaging are you all putting out now in advance of Wednesday especially?
Well, again, just getting folks prepared for the weather conditions this week, especially with the rainfall and wind, and of course that'll go, also all the vendors and tents and everything like that, making sure that they have everything secured when we have those stronger winds.
Is Monday too soon to start notifying? How are you doing?
No,
that?
we actually have safety walkthroughs. So we have a group from each organization that goes through, like Ben was just saying, and identifies those areas. So we do a lot of pre-messaging. Social media is where we put a lot of that platform as well.
Last couple of years, you all have had weather that has impacted the fair. Have you been here for those events as well?
I was not here, but I mean, we've been providing, meteorological services for the, decision makers here at the fair. So, yep.
What were the events the last couple of years you were mentioning?
All right. So last year we had severe weather. We had to close the fair for a while. The year before that, we actually had a tornado that passed. It landed in St. Johns County and traveled for over a mile and caused damage. That was due to hit right in the Green Cove Springs area. The year before that was severe weather. So going into Thursday or Friday is typically when we see the more severe weather for the fair.
And Ben, this is typically the driest month of the year, but yet it's been very active the last few springs.
It has. The weather in the springtime with frontal boundaries can be quite turbulent. So we need the rainfall this week, and unfortunately, it's going to happen, during the fair.
All right. So walk me through Tuesday and Wednesday. What sort of tools will you be using to kind of gauge wind direction, wind speed, those kinds of things? And then how do you communicate that to the emergency officials?
Well, again, we're going to be watching a nor'easter build here over our coastal waters, and we're just kind of looking at model data here into the next few days, looking at that rainfall increase over the Florida Peninsula and then move its way northward over our area. So again, we'll be communicating our rain chances for any lightning strikes to the decision makers here, and hopefully getting them prepared and the public prepared for conditions that they can anticipate here at the fairgrounds.
What does the conversation look like from you to the rest of the room when winds start to crank? Or, are you just saying, hey guys, and announcing it to the room?
We have several meetings that go on throughout the day, planning briefings, operations briefings. So we'll be communicating that information constantly throughout the week to the decision makers.
Do you envision then Wednesday maybe being a day where you're doing more conversations, more meetings?
It's every day. It's no different. There's nothing different where we have an extra meeting. We do those meetings so we can talk about weather, wind, traffic, surge of people coming in, extra sites that we need. So we're discussing that all the time. There's not an extra meeting for weather.
How many times a day are you meeting, and what times are those?
1, 2, 3, got at least 6 times. At least 6 times.
How long are those conversations?
They can go from 5 minutes up to about 30 minutes. It just depends on what it involves.
Okay, got it. Ben, thank you.